Hello folks, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the S1 Mark IIe leaked specs, and it's quite amazing. This morning I basically woke up, I received a message from a friend. They were like, hey, there are some leaks, go check them up. So I went to check them up. They were posted on some Brazilian website, and then I went to my trusty source, which is usually Andrea Pizzini. There was nothing on YouTube, so I keep Googling, and then I went finally on the L Rumors channel, and it was posted there too. So there I understood it was trustworthy. And what happened basically is that Panasonic itself leaked the whole thing. Naughty Panasonic. They basically leaked it, and then they basically took it down. So it seems that this is going to be trustworthy source, so trustworthy specs. And if all of this is actually going to be true, this is actually going to be the camera that I'm most interested about, even over something like the S1II, even though we don't know nothing yet about it except the sensor most probably being half-stacked sensor. But this one, for the price point that we will talk about at the end of this video, and the features basically make it sound that is the S5 Mark IIX on steroids. And that is exactly what I was hoping for. And one of the things that excite me the most about is the body, because it's going to have the same body as the S1 Mark II has, which is my favorite body, and I really hope that Lumix will basically continue this body system or an improved one for their whole future lineup of cameras, as it seems, because this is supposed to be the lower end between the two S1s that we are going to receive, and that is exactly what is happening. So we are receiving the same body, and that's amazing. I can't wait. I'm putting in my pre-order as soon as I see some reviews on it, because I'm quite excited about this one. Then the sensor. So this is probably going to be the thing that is going to probably raise some rage and some drama, because the sensor is basically going to be a revisited sensor that we all know about, which is the old sensor from the Lumix S5 Mark II and the Mark IIX, from the original S5, from the S1H, from the original S1. So basically we are going to receive the same sensor but revisited, to improve some things that actually is going to be the next topic, because thanks to this revisitation that they are doing, we are able to receive 4K 60 uncropped. And what they are doing there is like they went full on Blackmagic. So we know that Blackmagic basically uses the same sensor for their newer cinema camera 6K, where instead of like cropping it into the sensor, they basically used, you know, cinescope formats, or they basically just like start losing a little bit the resolutions. So you don't shoot the full 4K 6K, but you basically use kind of cinescope. So you're gonna basically crop, or it's not a crop, you lose image from the top and the downside, and it's going to be basically 2.4 to by 1 aspect ratio. So you basically lose a little bit of top and a little bit of down, pretty similar to the Cinema 4K, the 17:9 kind of format. And that's pretty cool, because at least that way we are able to receive 4K 60 uncropped. No clue if it's going to be landscaped, or no clue what it's going to be, waiting to see what actually how beautiful it's going to look. The main thing that is full frame. Then there are plenty of workarounds to do it, and apparently this new cinescope mode, or 2.4 by 1 aspect ratio, is not going to be only the 4K 60, but then we're going to have other frame rates too. So we have to just wait and see. Most probably 48, which is basically the true cinema slow motion, and then we will see what else we can get. It's pretty cool that at least we have this option in the camera, so many people will probably be happy about this, even though you're losing a little bit of resolution or of image from top and bottom. I mean, people have been shooting 16:9 for the longest I know. This little bit more of losing actually make it even more cinematic, because it's pretty beautiful image to watch when you have a little bit less in bottom, or how many company call it cinema way of doing. I think actually the Pocket has something like that, where it just, you can go like cinematic way, and then it just like crops, like lets you lose up and down, and then put these bars, black bars. So yeah, but it's pretty cool that at least we can receive a 4K 60 internally in the camera. So it's gonna have basically the same AF capability, so the hybrid phase detect autofocus that the S1 Mark II has, which is amazing because there have been some improvements there thanks to the AI chip, I believe there is inside too, according to the image that they have shared. So that's pretty cool as a thing. And what is actually cool that I haven't seen many actually YouTubers talking about it, there was this YouTuber called Dorn to Film that basically talked about the tracking, because you know that there is the touch to tracking that Lumix never really nailed it, but it seems that in this S1 Mark II they actually managed to improve it so much, probably thanks to the AI powered capability that they have, to make it actually really good. And that's basically what Dorn to Film talks about. I will link his video down below so you can go and check it out and see, because he explained it, he showed it, and it's actually pretty good. So pretty excited to actually get to try that one. There is a new actually AF mode, which is going to be called Urban Sport AF, which Andrea Pizzini already actually leaked it in the first time that he leaked all the information about these two cameras. And basically what it is, it's like, is going to basically help you track more quicker, faster subjects, if I'm actually using the right phrase, the right sentence. But basically it's being created for b-boys. If you don't know what b-boys it is, it's breakdancing boys, so people who breakdance, or for sports like skateboarding or parkour. So it seems that I'm probably using the AI chip to do something like the Canon does, you know, where it just tracks the subject when you like recognize the subject. It basically tracked it really accurately. So I hope that's actually what it is, and it could be a really good substitute for, you know, the subject tracking if you don't like it. So I think it's kind of an enchanted subject tracking, or you know, the touch to tracking feature. But let's see, we will see. But it's quite cool that Lumix is actually improving their F system, and let's remember they are only 3 years old, this AF, and for how good Lumix has managed to make this AF, I have to say chapeau, because there are other companies out there that have had AF for the longest as I remember, and still now they are not as good as how Lumix have managed to make their AF system in only 3 years. So chapeau Lumix, and well done. The next thing is going to be IBIS. So it's going to have the same amount of IBIS capabilities that the S1 Mark II has, and it's quite good. So the 8-stop of image stabilization, and then there is going to be even the cropless mode, which basically uses, you know, the part of the image that you actually don't really use to actually stabilize the image, so without actually cropping in. So you're gonna have the standard, which crops in a little bit. You're gonna have the high that crops in massively, almost to an APS-C crop, and then you're gonna have the cropless, which is going to be the first stage where there is no crop at all. So That is actually really, really cool. The next thing is we are going to be able to have ARRI log C3 if we want to, through basically the upgrade key. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna have the 32-bit float audio recording through the new DWV2 mic adapter, and then frame rates and features, internal features. So Scenes is using basically a similar sensor to the one that we know already. We know that it's going to have 6K open gate up to 25p if you are in Europe or in the rest of the world. If you are in US and who uses the same kind of mechanism that US uses, hello Bumblebee, the same kind of mechanism that US uses, or frequency that US uses, is going to be 30. Then it's going to have, this is really exciting one, it's going to have 5.8K ProRes RAW and ProRes RAW HQ internally into the camera. Probably is interesting for, you know, like for people who are interested in that, because I am interested in that, but I edit in DaVinci Resolve, so I don't have used to it. I hope DaVinci, since now they are collaborating with Apple, they will find a way to, you know, to unblock that limitation and actually allow people to edit the RAW internally. But as for now, Final Cut will be your best choice, or Premiere Pro. But it's cool. You have ProRes RAW recording internally to up to 25 and 30 frames per second, and then in Cinema 4K up to 60 frames per second. I don't know if in this RAW here you will be able to use the uncropped 60 frames per second mode in 4K. We will see, have to wait and see, but it's cool. It's there. If you want to use it, you can use it. And most probably you'll be, since you have ProRes RAW internally, there is going to be, you know, the ProRes normal format, the ProRes 422 HQ, the ProRes 422 and blah 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 internally. So you have that option too. Then it's going to have, since it has the same sensor, 14 plus of dynamic range, which we all have seen it in the S5 Mark II, the S5 Mark IIX, the S5, the S1, the S1H, the S9. I always forgot about the S9, the S9. So we have seen it. It's beautiful. So and it works fantastic. So it's good, we know. And then when we talk about photography, basically it's gonna be the same experience that you have had until now with the S5 Mark II and the S5 Mark IIX. So there is no anything different there. I don't know if they are going to add maybe something new because of the AI, stuff like that. The tracking is gonna be way better, most probably, but you're gonna have the same thing, the 30 frames per second electronically, the 10 frames per second mechanical, and that's pretty much it. Then you're gonna have all the things that the S1R Mark II came with, you know, so with the Lumix Lab up, with the newest apps that Lumix have come up with, and you know, the latest technology and everything. So yeah, and the price is gonna be 2,800 euros, which if you turn in, you know, your Lumix S5 Mark IIX, for example, depending on what the rate is at the moment, the inflation is at the moment, you are able to, you know, sell it for about between 1,001 and 1,005. So what will be rest for you to pay is basically the other half. So the 1,300 is still a lot of money, but if you think about the amount of feature you're receiving compared to the S5 Mark IIX, I have to be sincere, for me it's worth it, especially if you do client work and you do a lot of work where you will need, especially for your, like, you know, for your life, you know, for like ease of use. Like, it's a quality of improvement, you know. It's like the newest screen will be kind of a breeze because it will not get stuck, you know, when you apply things in. Like, that's one of the things that I hate when I have to rig up, you know, the Lumix S5 Mark IIX, is that the cords, you know, get blocked. Right now you don't, because you have the screen that comes out, so everything stays. You can still, you know, turn the screen and stuff. So, you know, the quality of life improvement that you have, it's something that you have to take seriously, especially especially in these cases, because it just improves everything, and it brings everything that I wished we had earlier, or I wished that the S5 Mark IIX came out with, because that was like all the things I wished the S5 Mark IIX had at launch are here. Those are the things I've talked about many times in previous videos, and this is it. This is it. This is the camera I was hoping for that they will do, and they did it. They did it. They delivered it. And I can't wait, because I want to really see what's next. I want to see what the S1II is, because if these are the specs for the S1IIE, the S1II is going to be mind-blowing. But hey, share down below what are the things you wish it will have more, and let's have chat, and stay safe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.